said. I saw what she said.
What did she say?
She was like, I'm about to switch to Jannelle's team. She said, I'm neutral, but I'm about to go to Jannelle's team if you keep teasing her while she's gone.
Well, somebody's got to be honest when you're gone.
Gary did a good job with you when you were gone.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah. He was
Gary's
like, yeah, over here representing Team Brian. Hi, guys. You got to get used to being back on overtime.
Yeah, you got to do your job here.
No, I do. Hi, Eva, Mike, Pamela. She said, yay, missed you together. We belong together. Look. Hey. No, you didn't. No. Eva, hi, Eva. And Adrian, happy Monday. Sheila says good morning to both again. And Deborah, Pam. So we're talking. Oh, Rebecca. Hello, good morning, Rebecca. I went to Berlin. I said it right.
You did. Good job.
Thank you. Went to Berlin last week, but our little cabin was in Millersburg. Oh my gosh, that place is amazing. The people were awesome. The kids went bike riding. Oh, I didn't tell you. When we were getting ready to go, Len went to fix the car or do something, and he had all the bikes on his pickup. And he stopped, and the guy was like, oh, you sell bikes? And Len was like, no, we're going home.
I got 6 kids.
Dude.
Right, yeah, no. Sarah, when the oldest 3 were little, just because they were 2 and 1 and newborn,
yeah,
they'd go, oh, do you do a daycare?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She'd be like, no, they're mine. They're all mine.
Yeah,
you got that too?
Cool. Yes, we did. And so we went bike riding. I asked several of you on my page for suggestions. So somebody suggested that bike ride. It was super cool, super hot. The house was super cool. And then we went to Berlin at the end to shop, and we got ice cream for the kids. Brenda Scott from Facebook, she saw Len in Berlin and almost yelled out, "New rule." I wish she would have.
We got a lot of family down in Amish country.
We
got a lot.
Who is it? April Shower Shoop. She invited me to her house, and so we didn't go there.
He texts all the time. He's from Millersburg.
Yeah, that's true.
Which
and
is not
Nathaniel told me about his daughter. She works in Der Dutchman.
Look at
Nathan says, I used to work in Walnut Creek, which is about, oh yes, we stopped there at the end. Always love that, to shop there. Rob says, good morning. Good to see the team back together. Adrian says, Jannelle's back. And Adrian, you are holding Team Jannelle down. She said, we missed you. The show is not the same without you. Oh.
How much you pay her for that?
Whatever. It was like Cash App. I was sending it.
Venmo? You sent her some Venmo?
Gary said, good morning. Welcome back, Jannelle. Great seeing the little ones on TV. Oh, thank you. So, yeah, we did this before I get into the canoe trip. Do this with your kids. Ask them, if you were on the phone with a friend, what would be your phone gesture? And so we did. If you look below, there's a video of my sister on Philly, ABC Philly. She's an anchor, and she asked my kids to do it. They were featured on the news in Philly. And so the difference is my sister and I did this, right? That's what you do when you pick up a phone or when you do a phone gesture. Immediately, when I told the kids to do it, it was so weird, the difference. They went like this. Oh, and we felt so old. And we're like, dude, we use smartphones. But our age just showed with that.
The best was Josiah was like this.
Yeah.
It shows how you're on speakerphone all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
You must.
So we went canoeing. It was the highlight of the trip. My sister and her husband did it for the first time. And they're like in love with it. He came all the way from Rhode Island to go on this trip. And he told Len, dude, I'll come next month. Can we do this again? We are considering Hockin Hills, but that's a little far. And so during the canoe trip, my sister and her husband doing it for the first time ever. Len and I have canoed several times. And so as we're canoeing, my sister first said, oh my goodness, how can you imagine doing this in the middle of marriage conflict or like giving each other the silent treatment? It's impossible to go anywhere.
Because you got to listen.
You got to listen, teamwork, all of this. And Len and I did so horribly that, like, first of all, we were behind everybody, including my sister and her husband. They were way ahead of us and got there first. It was horrible. But he was trying to give me instruction and didn't want to come off condescending, I guess is what he was saying.
So he was being sweet.
I took it as he was being passive aggressive, and so I wouldn't receive it. And
Tell
so
him what he said.
He was like, "Huh, it's interesting. The way you're paddling doesn't really kind of. I'm trying to figure it out, and it doesn't go with the way I'm doing it." And then he was like, "You're putting in a lot of pressure, like a lot of force. It's helping, but it's something about the way you're doing it." I felt like, just tell me, like, why are you dancing around? You're doing it wrong.
Because you didn't want to get in trouble by him telling you what you're doing wrong.
I know. And so some people texted and said, yeah, that you agreed that it would be complicated, like you could see how it reflects.
And then, guys, by the way, I saw David, you're still Team Brian, a guy, yeah, Nux. So she has the nerve to say in the canoe to her husband as she's up there rowing. And
I did. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah.
He's back there. She's like, "Huh, Len, boy, maybe this canoe trip is a microcosm of our entire marriage."
I did.
And he's back there like, "Can't we just canoe?"
Yes. He was like, "Wow, are you serious?" I'm like, "Seriously, like, look at us. We can't even work together. Like, we have to work together, and we can't even like collaborate." And it was that gap in the communication, because I find out today there's actually a strategy to canoeing. Yeah, and I know he knows it. So part of me's like, why don't you just tell me?
Because he doesn't want to get this. All that. Because if you would have told him, or if he would have told you, would have been like, "What, you're going to beat you the boss of me? You're some kind of canoe expert now? You work at Ford. You don't work at the canoe plant."
Oh.
Isn't that what you would have said?
It depends how you say it.
So what's the way Len could have said it without making you mad?
What would have helped me is, seriously.
She's not going to give an answer. Listen, go ahead.
I am. So in our marriage, I've shared this before, so I'm not sharing extra information. He has this thing that is like, this is the way you do things. So like folding clothes, making the bed. When we first got married,
notice all this stuff she's doing. She's not answering the question.
I'm explaining the background.
Go ahead.
So he does this, and I've always kind of been like, dude, like you don't have the way to do things. That's the way you do them. And this is the way like he corrected the way I made the bed when we were newly.
So why would he ever tell you there's a right way to do anything?
There is a better way to do it. So listen, so that you understand where I'm coming from. The first time, like you're a newlywed and you're making your bed and want to be like a good housewife, and he's like, "That's not how you make a bed." And I was like, "What? Like I've made my bed this way for 18 years." So that's our background in that area. I think, having spoken to Ron and Brian, who barely knows this, since there is a strategy to rowing, if he would have just said, this is what the strategy is, like, not this is my way, but explain there is a way to row and here it is. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe now that I hear myself saying it, maybe I would have taken it.
I'm just trying to figure out, after all these years where when Len tells you there's a right way to do something and you get mad, why in his right mind would he ever tell you there's a right way to canoe?
Okay, listen. First of all, because you've talked to me about, because Sarah does the dishes thing. Isn't there like a right way?
Yeah, she thinks there's a right way to do the dishes. So I told her, I said, "Listen, either I'm going to do it my way or I'm not going to do it."
Okay, so understanding that causes a lot of issues in our marriage, because, like, I'm trying not to say a lot. Because, no, listen, it could turn into, well, this is the way my mom did it. And you don't tell that to your wife, because it's been like, dude, I am not your mother. So if we understand that there's that wrong way, because Sarah has done it with you, how would you have received from Sarah, in the context of that, instruction on how to row? Like, how could I have done, I'm thinking, like, isn't there a way to do it, no?
I think being in a canoe, just you and your spouse, you're going to argue for a few minutes minimum. I just think...
So that is normal. I shouldn't feel completely... I felt like, wow, look at where we're at in our marriage.
Because you're both novices.
We can't even canoe.
The person in the back is in charge of steering. The person in the front has to be responsive to how the person in the back is doing. And there are better and worse ways to... I've seen people paddle by barely even like touching the water. It's kind of... And then
I was splashing people
you can
in the back.
splash people behind you and all that. Well, all I'm saying is that...
So how do you communicate it without it getting... either way, neither passive-aggressive or condescending?
I think you almost have to agree out of the gate the person in the back's in charge. And the person in the front listens to the person in the back. Look, she doesn't like that.
No.
She doesn't like that. There's no leader.
Because
there's no leader.
Listen. Listen,
If you're the captain of a ship,
my gosh.
everybody gets to tell you what to do.
I get that he was the leader.
He's the captain of the ship.
But when he was like, you keep switching, I'm thinking, I don't have eyes in the back of my head. So if I switch, then kind of work with me. Okay, obviously.
He's the captain of the ship.
My challenge, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on YouTube. I'm going to learn the strategy. And we're going to talk as a couple. And I'm going to tell him our exam, our final for the summer is going canoeing in August and doing this. I think that's a great test of your marriage. I told him that, and he didn't take it well. But I was like, wow, like, look, this is our test. And this, I think, manifests a lot of the issues in our marriage. He didn't receive that well. I think it was wrong timing. But I think there's something about being in one boat and you have no choice. You both have to work. And it has to be in collaboration. Sometimes in life, in like regular marriage life, you can escape that a little bit. Like, okay, cool, go do your thing.
Well, you can. Liz has got your same problem.
Liz says, I'm the same way, Jannelle. I have to have discussion when I talk. So background given, so it is clear. Thank you.
No,
exactly.
But your background.
There's a reason why I receive things the way I do. I ain't crazy.
But your background made your answer worse. Thank you.
It did. Why?
Brian is. You see Gary? Listen to Gary.
Where is he? Wait. Oh, Gary. Brian is captain of the studio.
Which is not true. If you
Amora says, yes, watch a YouTube video to see how it's done. You will see, you will have to listen to the person in back.
Oh, did you see that? You gotta listen.
I'm not mad about listening. Wow. If you listen to me, you'll get what I'm saying. He wasn't giving me instructions. He was like,
do you know why?
That's weird the way you're doing it. I'm trying to follow you. And I'm like, why do you say it that way? Just say.
You know why he did? You revealed it in your long explanation.
No.
Because all these years... If
somebody would have told you that, you would have been mad too.
For all these years in your marriage, you've been telling him that he's got to stop telling you there's a right way to do things.
Oh my gosh, whatever. Whatever.
That's what you say when I'm right.
David, your dude, says she'll answer, but with a long discussion first.
Team Brian.
Amora says, Jannelle, girl, just let canoeing be canoeing. Have fun. There is a time for everything. This was a time for family fun. We did have fun. If you look at our pictures, we were kissing. We stopped at a
I don't want to hear how you were kissing.
I mean, we had fun. It was just the lack.
It was a couple minutes, right?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like depressing.
You got to describe how Len told your brother-in-law when they got in the van, what you said to him about maybe this canoeing trip is a reflection of our whole marriage.
Yeah, he was like, did you hear what this girl told me? Oh my goodness.
I love Len.
Callie says, my husband and I have different ways of doing things around the house, but my husband accepts the way that I do stuff around the house since I'm home all day, taking care of the daily responsibilities. Nathan says, just let me know what I'm doing wrong. Show me the correct way to... That's what I'm saying. Say it. It was hard to be like,
But there's not a correct way to make the bed. There's not a correct way to... What else has he said? That drives you nuts. To fold laundry. There's not a correct way to fold towels. But there is a correct way to canoe, and you're okay with that?
Just like there's a correct way. You don't think so?
You don't see my point?
No, I don't.
I don't see how Len could have been direct. And seriously. You hate it when he's direct about the right way to do things. So you don't like it
when Sarah does it to you. So how would she tell you in a way that you would receive it?
Well, maybe it's that I know enough to know that the person in the back is in charge in a canoe. You may not have known that.
No. I did know that because he told my brother-in-law to be in the back too. What I didn't understand is, okay, if we're going to work together, because I can't see you. So if it's like, okay, do whatever I'm doing, I can't see you. So how does that work?
Well, no, you have to...
If it's like give instructions, okay, then give instructions. Don't just say, that's interesting the way you're doing it. It's hard. Just say, oh, listen, you got to do this.
I mean, I typically would have the person just pick a side and stick with it, and then you can adjust accordingly.
He did tell me that, and I did that after he said it. I was like, okay, well.
So then what's the problem?
That's why I'm telling you, because for those who think, oh, just have fun as a family, we had fun. We figured it out. But getting there was...
Look at Sandy's thing. Down.
No,
down.
I like Pamela. She says, totally normal. Best to get an instructor who will show strokes and have each person try each seat. That's a good idea. Then they will know the captain is in the...
Everybody's with me. The captain of the ship's in the back. It's not a democracy.
I'm not I'm good with
You're
that.
the first mate. Do whatever the captain says.
I'm good with that. Then you have to give clear instructions. That's all I was asking for. Why are you sugarcoating and saying, that's interesting?
Because for all these years you tell him that you hate it when he tells you there's one way to do something.
Don't be in the back, then put me in the back. If you can't give instructions, then put
Could
me
this
in the
mean
back.
that there is a right way to make a bed?
No, seriously? So then there's a right way to wash dishes.
Maybe there is.
Sandy says solution, get a rowboat. Only one person can row.
Yeah, you take
No,
a nap.
I really want to learn how to do this together. Nathan says next time just jump in the water and just go swimming.
There's actually, I'm not going to promote the movie because it's not appropriate, but there's one famous movie that I flipped through on TV where there's a group of couples canoeing. And one of them, the husband's being a real jerk in the back telling her what to do. So she threw her oar and she just dove in and swam the rest of the way. She's like, I'm out. I'm done.
Wow. Hi, the people on YouTube. What's up? You can join the discussion and leave your message on YouTube so we can read it. Kathy has a canoe story. She says, hubby and I and our dogs were in a canoe. Dog was tied to the canoe. We went over rapids and dumped the canoe. Hubby was holding on, but the water was frigid. He let go. The dog jumped in and rode the rapids and then swam the canoe to shore. Oh, my goodness.
Wow. What an awesome dog. What kind of dog is that, Kathy?
Nathan says, so did Jannelle get a new rule during canoe?
Did he actually declare a rule?
Mike says, new rule, let's not go canoeing anymore.
He'd be like, new rule, person in the back's in charge, shut your mouth and row.
If he would have given me clear instructions, I would have been good.
Do you see though why Len might hesitate to give you the right way to canoe?
Yeah. I can see.
So basically it's all your fault and he was right?
All my fault. Pamela says, I was teaching one day and a couple kept driving canoe into the mud wall over and over. Long trip.
Oh, yeah.
Pam, you teach that? That's cool.
Yeah.
Kathy says, left, right, back paddle on left, back paddle on right. Do you know what that is?
Not exactly. My mom showed me once this thing where if you're alone in a canoe, there's a way to make it go straight by how you, I think it's where you go like back out.
Oh, that's tight.
Like, and you go straight, I think.
I'd
have to try it to know.
Kathy says, mutt, Brian, dog got steak that night.
You better believe it.
That's cool.
No, my mutt we got from Cuyahoga County Animal Shelter too. He is such a loyal, sweet doggy. He would just do anything. If my boys wrestle with me, he gets very upset.
Oh yeah. Wow, my dog does that, but with the girls.
You don't care about your dogs?
She's very protective of the girls. Mike says, solution, go get a movie or go to a movie.
You don't like going to movies?
No, I do.
No, you don't, because there's no talking there.
You can't talk, but he does well, so that would be a good. Mike says underdog.
Oh, David's got a good question. David says, define clear instructions, Jannelle.
Let me. I'm trying to think of a time he's given me clear instructions.
Well, no, like what? But I get your point. You were frustrated that he was dancing around it when you wanted to say, Jannelle, put your paddle in the water and stay on one side.
No, because he told me that. Stay on one side.
So I don't
think
get where
it's
the conflict
way,
came.
it's the strategy of how I was canoeing. That's why I was so confused. Because I'm like, you're telling me to stay on one side. I'm staying on one side. It's how, I think it was how I was doing the oar. I still don't know. And that's all I was asking. Like, if you see me doing something wrong, then say it. Don't just say, oh, that's so interesting the way you're canoeing. It's really not, working with the way I'm doing stuff. You wouldn't be frustrated? Just say it.
I would, but he's not allowed to say there's a right way to do something.
Okay.
That's what you say when I'm right.
I've commented before that my sons love you guys. Oh, Liz, they're with me now watching. I want to say hi. Hi, Noah. Hi, Ethan. Oh, that's
What's up, Noah and Ethan?
Cool.
I'm going to be the one to get up and actually say hello. Noah and Ethan, glad you're with us, guys. Your mom's pretty cool. And obviously, both of you guys are on Team Brian. Obviously. Thank you.
No, Liz, let us know. Who's Team Jannelle, Team Brian? Adrian says, sounds like you all had a great time. It was super fun,
right? How long was the conflict?
If you go to my page and see the pictures, you'll see we even kissed, and Len does not kiss for pictures. So he was really chill. He
doesn't kiss for pictures?
Like, he doesn't do all that. He doesn't do, what's that thing? Public
displays of affection?
He don't do that.
He doesn't like that?
He'll hold my hand. But like one time recently, oh my gosh, we were at Beechwood Mall, and I was like, we were waiting for the kids, and I was trying to kiss him. He's like, "What are you doing?" And then I was like,
That's how he said it.
and then he was like, "What are you trying to prove?" He told me.
What are you-
Because we're outside. I'm like, I don't care about these people. But he he
said
just
that?
doesn't do.
What are you trying to prove?
Like, he's like, why does it, like, we're out here.
Sarah and I went out to dinner just last night at a table for two. And a couple times throughout the night, I'd lean forward like this and we'd kiss at the table. But Len looks at you and goes,
No,
what
he
are you
might
doing?
do a peck because we're standing. And so I'm like hugging it.
I
He's
get it
just
because
like-
my brother's like that. He doesn't like doing all
And
that.
his family was not like, you don't do that.
What
you
are
know?
you trying to prove?
Yeah.
What are you
But it didn't come off wrong. He was just saying. He's
No, I know.
thinking I'm doing it so other people like say, "Oh, I told you we sit on the same side of the table."
You're like, man, listen, I do this because I love you.
Yeah. He's like, we could do that at home. That's what he would say. So Kathy says, maybe like my husband, Len didn't know how to canoe either. See that? Why didn't he give clear instructions? It's real easy. Just like he said, stay on one side. He
He didn't
could
know
have
what he was
said,
doing?
when you're on one side.
Let's call him right now.
Okay, cool. You want me to?
Should we?
Okay.
Is he going to be mad that we have him on Facebook
Oh.
Live?
Eva says, oh, Brian graduated. What is that about?
I don't know. But I did, for the record.
David, Team Brian, I know. He says, all that matters is that you all had fun. We did. And Deborah's asking, what lesson did I learn? I realized, number one, because it was such an intense moment of having to collaborate.
But you got to listen.
You have to listen and you have to work together. It showed like, wow, like this is a lot like our marriage. You have to communicate. Just like my sister said, you can't do that and be like, let's say on silent treatment. Or sometimes you're not on silent treatment and don't communicate the way you're supposed to. One thing that Len says a lot. He says, Liz says, oh, thanks, guys. They're so excited to have you say hi. Noah is Team Brian all the way. And Ethan is Team Jannelle. Woo! And she's looking forward to visiting the studio one day.
Clearly,
Hi, Ethan. You sound so smart.
Noah has better taste, clearly. You're all going to have to come by the studio. Just message us. We'd love to have you stop by. We can arrange that. I think it was Nathan was saying he really wants you to call Len. Do you think we'd get in trouble with Len if you called him
I'll
live
ask him.
on Facebook? Come over
But
here by
the
the
other-
camera so people can see it.
Okay. Oh my gosh. He wants to go crazy. Call me.
He'll be like, I'm in a meeting. He does that to me all the time.
Hey, Len, you're on overtime. Can you talk for like 2 minutes?
No, I can't.
Len,
Come on, Len.
it's about how I need to do better with canoeing. They're trying to teach me.
Who is?
On overtime. How I could have done better with canoeing.
Okay. Well, they can teach. They should be able. It's simple. They can teach.
So
I got
go
one
ahead, go
question
ahead.
for you, Len. Somebody was insinuating that there was conflict because not only did Jannelle not know how to canoe, but you didn't know how to canoe. And I feel like you know how to canoe.
Why would I not know?
That's what I'm saying. You know what you're doing, right?
Oberlin.
Exactly.
Thank you. He knows what he's doing.
Did you have fun though?
Yes.
Was your favorite part when Jannelle said, maybe this is a reflection of our entire relationship?
What?
I know, no, listen. I was talking about how I have issues. Like I should not have done that. And we could have just had fun.
We just established it's her fault, Len. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
it is. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's kind of deep.
I know. That's what Brian was like, dude, just have fun and just canoe.
And listen to Len. He's the captain of the ship in the back.
I should have done better listening, right?
Well, I think it was a combination of both.
He's got to say
You
that.
have to work together.
He's on the internet. He's got to say that. He doesn't want to get in trouble.
So I just told them, babe, that we're going to go canoeing again before the end of the summer so I can do a better job.
Okay, that's a good idea.
You know, Sarah and I should go with you. We can race you.
And then see whose marriage is better?
I would take you in a canoe race, Len, just so you know.
Okay.
or me and Sarah against you and Len.
No. We would destroy you. We get in trouble.
Somebody said that I should have jumped off the canoe and just swam to the end.
I don't know if that would have worked either.
All right, Len. Well, you're still the man, and we're disappointed there was no new rules when you were canoeing.
Oh no, I couldn't do that.
Why not?
Make a rule for you. It's just for the kids.
I forgot about
Okay.
that.
Bye.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
You're gonna be in so much trouble for doing
But Maura says, y'all are wrong setting up blind. And people saying good morning. Mike says, this could get messy. Kathy says, I didn't want to make trouble for you. Don't tell him he doesn't know what he's doing. Oh my goodness. Brian. Kayaking's coming up a lot, man.
Wow.
Patricia says, diplomacy is one of Len's superpowers. Oh,
It really is.
yes.
Did you hear that? He was like, no, I think it was both of us. Yeah, right. He said that because he's on the internet.
Danella says, this would so be my husband on a call like this. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, he's very, very, like, matter of fact. I had to tell him, you're on speaker, you're on overtime.
You could blame me because I think he's going to be like, what did you do to me today?
Yeah, I know. No, but I'm glad that you told him and you clarified that I did most of the mess up.
Yeah,
Mike
you were wrong.
says, love language lesson 101. So can you, what I learned is that thing, it reminded me of what Dr. Julie Slattery said about marriage and it being one mission and us still standing in our individuality and style, but not wanting to be right, but wanting to like win. Like we had to get to the end. So if I was to do it over again, instead of being stuck on how you tell me stuff or how you instruct me or all of that, focusing on our mission together because we want to get to the end. And so I like that. Like for the canoeing, but even for life, it just really reminded me of the benefit of collaborating because we're in one ship. And we want to survive and we want to get to the end. Just so you know, I didn't tell you this part. They literally, we took so long, the establishment had to send somebody in a kayak and tell us, like, dude, the bus is about to leave you. Like, you got to hurry up. And we were like, okay, how much longer we got? They were like, after you pass that bridge over there, you're halfway. We were like, oh my goodness. But it was a lot of fun. You can see pictures of the kids in the water and all of that.
Should we make it even and have you call Sarah?
Oh, yes. Guys, wait. If you could stay, don't leave. I would love that. Go ahead.
I don't have any signal. You'll have to call her.
Okay.
I don't know if she'll answer.
Aw.
Do I have signal?
Sarah, here. Mike says, Sandy
never
says, fun
answers.
conversation. You've got me laughing. Rob says he loves his brother, Len. Mike, good overtime to start the week back together. Okay, this is Sarah, y'all. I hope she picks up.
She won't. She doesn't answer the phone.
Seriously? Text her.
Your call is...
What?
She didn't answer the phone.
Aw.
Should I try? She
Yes.
might be in a meeting.
I'm going to text her.
Yeah, we'll do it some other day.
Oh, seriously?
We can't make people sit here while we call my wife and just wait, can we? I got one bar. Should I try?
Yeah, try.
Okay, I'll try.
Patricia says Jannelle must have Verizon. Woo! Yes, I do. Verizon's awesome.
I'm nervous. She's not going to answer. She's probably watching. She knows what we're doing.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
She ain't dumb. That's
All right,
funny.
well, looks like I win today.
Oh,
I didn't
my
have to do that. All right.
Kelly says took us many years to learn to solve the problem, not win the argument. That's what it is. Oh,
Danella goes, well, wait, Brian.
I love Kelly.
Oh, wait, she's calling back.
Oh, yes.
Hey, you're on speakerphone on overtime. Are you mad at me already? Sarah?
Yes.
You're mad at me already? So, first question, because Jannelle and Len went canoeing, and they got in kind of a fight canoeing. Have you and I ever been canoeing together?
Yes.
How did that go? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Okay. How about this one?
Wonderful, I'm sure.
If you and I went canoeing, who would be in the back and in charge?
Hopefully me.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want to ask her, Jannelle?
Does he do a good job of handling instructions from you?
No.
Brian! Oh, we need more. Okay.
What do you mean, no? I'm so good at that. It's my favorite.
What does he say, or why? What is the reason why he struggles? What's his reason why he says he can't get instructions from you?
Because he says I'm not clear on instructions, even though I am. He just has his way of thinking it should be done.
No, I'm just so distracted by your beauty that I can't keep up.
Does he tell you that...
You're ruining my whole theory.
No, exactly, because you do a good job. Oh, my gosh. So, does he say, like, there are different ways to do things, you have a way, and, like, does he struggle with that part? About saying that you make him feel like your way's the right way.
Oh, yeah. He says that, but my way is the right way.
So you should tell her about your conflict with Len, see her reaction to it.
So we got in the canoe, and we were struggling, collaborating together. And because he does that, I've received his instructions in the past, like, his way's the right way. I guess he struggled telling me that I was doing it wrong. And so he was like, oh, interesting. The way you're, like, canoeing, it's just, like, not working. And so it came off passive-aggressive to me. And so I was just like, yeah, if I'm doing something wrong, just say it. What would have been a better way for him to communicate that? Or did he do it the way... Would you have done it that way?
I probably would have done it that way, too.
Why?
It's not that you're doing it wrong. It's that you're just not doing it... You're doing it your way, which is not the way that, like, he was going to do it. But that doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just not the best way.
But if you're in the back, your job
You're
is
in
to
charge.
communicate it, like, clearly. This is how we're going to do this.
Did you guys work that out ahead of time?
No, we are not pros at canoeing. We're like, water, yeah, let's get in the canoe. Well, how would you have handled it?
Because if he would have just, like, taken over and told you what to do, I would think, if you were like Brian, you'd have been like, well, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Why are you in charge?
Oh my gosh, you were making it seem like I just do that.
You're ruining my whole theory
Give us
here,
a
honey.
story. Give us a story of, like, this struggle with Brian. Because he was talking about it like, I got issues.
They
like,
talked in advance, you guys.
Oh my gosh.
She called Sarah. They planned this out.
If not canoeing, give us an example of how Brian has dealt with a situation like this. Maybe when you're building stuff, you guys do projects
Yeah,
together?
when we're moving furniture, we just had that where we were moving furniture, and he's not very good at spatial things.
At all.
And so, do you have to dance around the instruction to not hurt his feelings?
Yes, and then he still gets mad and says I'm talking to him like he's a child.
It's not my fault you're not good at communicating instructions.
I am very good at communicating instructions. You just
Well,
I need to be clear and concise, and then when I am, you say I'm talking to you.
Oh my
This
goodness,
is
you
the
got
first-
some nerve!
this is the first and last time my wife will be on here by phone. I love you, Sarah.
I love you too. I'm gonna get back to work now.
Sarah, are you Team Jannelle?
Oh, we lost the connection here. It's
What did she say?
I hung up on it. I don't know.
Because Gary asked Sarah, Team Jannelle. Angie says,
Wow.
Len knew he had to get out of that canoe. Danella says, you guys are proof that there is still fun in the kingdom of marriage. There is such super fun way to start off Monday. Latasha, yes, please tell us a story. I wanted a story. But she kind of gave that one shows that we both got issues.
I'm in trouble now, just like you are. Now we're both in trouble.
Yeah. Okay, guys, bye. Sarah is the best. Somebody texting Latasha says, Brian, be careful when you go home.